Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the second day of our event, and we are now with Barkın Özdemir. He is the youngest Turk who have been on the 7 continents, and personally, I have been following him for maybe more than 6 years, and I am super. Yeah, exactly. While I was following you, you were still studying and traveling at the same time, so it's kind of exciting for me to meet you and ask some questions that I personally really wonder. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm honored again. Nice to meet you.
So today we are going to talk about coping with uncertainty because, as I mentioned, you are traveling a lot and also you have studied business administration. So you both know in practice and both in the formality, maybe. So if you're ready, I would like to ask my first question.
Go for it.
So we said traveling a lot. Let's start with traveling. How do you define it? How did you start traveling, or what are your root values that motivates you to travel as you define it?
Well, it's a really interesting question. Like, it's a really interesting feeling that I cannot explain directly, but we'll try. I mean, traveling is all about discovery for sure, but not just discovering the different cultures, different people, different countries, but also my inner myself as well. Discovering myself, my weaknesses, my strengths, what I like, what I don't like. It's all about experience. I don't know. Like, I mean, even after I traveled 7 countries, I discovered something like the biggest decision I have ever took for my life. I was always on the way, or I was on travel somewhere, because then you can understand. You can be alone. Especially traveling solo is really interesting
Yeah.
because you can face by yourself your fears, your dreams, your disappointments. That's what I love from travel. Also, like, travel is like you can understand that we have diversity in the world, like, but then you can understand the beauty of diversity. Definitely my biggest motivation is beauty of the diversity in the world. You see, like, somewhere, okay, you will say, like, let's suppose that, okay, this is the most beautiful part of the world. This like, none of the places that cannot be better than this. But then you go somewhere else in another time and you say, oh, this is so good as well. The world is more wider than you expected, and I love that. Like, I have a bunch of families in Italy, Australia, Argentina. I have lots of moms that cook me, and we have, like, and I don't know, we don't speak the same language. Sometimes we just have to coordinate through the body language. But there's only one body, like, there's only one word that we can understand, like language, smiles. That is priceless, and I love that. This is the most motivating thing for me, I guess, for my travels.
Well, it was you said a lot of good, beautiful things that I just write something to the comments that the world is bigger than you expected, and it's a quite strong sentence, I believe. And at the same
Exactly.
time, when you said that whenever I make a good, important decision, you were always on the road. You said that. So it's not like being alone or being frightened. It's traveling is something that you find maybe more at home for you, I
Yeah.
believe. Well,
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, for I don't know if, for example, even recently I was out of Turkey, and I was thinking, okay, when I come back to Turkey, I should pick this, or I should cook this food to my friend. It's all about discoveries, like, and
yeah.
it's about reflection as well. You get something, and you reflect to your country.
Yeah, exactly. But while we are talking about those nice memories, they're all nice. But I want to ask you something. Yesterday, Sinan Güler was our speaker, and we talked about resilience. And he always underlined the word uncertainty, actually. So the two sessions will be kind of connected with each other. So I want to go in there. Uh, so life is full of surprises, as we talk, like sometimes good, but sometimes unpleasant, but mostly unexpected. So do you have a specific perspective as a quote you remind yourself every day?
I mean, yes, that's a really it looks basic sentence, but life is full of surprises. You will never expect it, and of course, like none of today gonna be amazing, or none of today gonna be really bad. Like, and I can definitely see that like no pain, no gain. And when it like sometimes it comes, bad things come, sometimes bad like good things arrive. I like, of course. If you ask me like any specific quote, I always say to push myself, come to myself that like, why not? What would you lose it? Like even before I took my gap year, I just finished the second year of my school, and I want to take it 1 year off to travel. And although I go up with the very open-minded, supported family, it's like, wait a minute, you cannot travel. Like, what's going on? When you finish your college, you can travel. That's a very Turkish mentality. Although my family is like,
Yeah.
I would say like way less traditional than other families in Turkey. But I was pushing them. I was like saying like, what will I can lose it? Like, okay, I'm just gonna extend my graduation, which I was studying in a full scholarship, 1 year more. That's the worst case. And or if I finish my money, I will just come like get the stamp of loser and then come back to Turkey, and then I will come back to my comfort zone. I don't think that I will lose anything more. And then sometimes things are going bad, and I will always like if I'm really in depressive mode and if the bad things happen to me, I always say like fake it until make it. Sometimes uh, we have to be positive. I always keep saying during the quarantine as well. I know that like there's a big crisis going on, and we have to consider this crisis. But on the other hand, to our I don't know, for the welcome to opportunities, we have to be positive and sometimes like ignore the bad things, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, the you said you said something that whatever goes wrong, as long as you're alive, actually, you can go back. You can go
Yeah,
back to your comfort zone, like whatever happens, as long as you are aware of yourself, and as you said, like it's a good mentality, actually, fake it till you make it sometimes,
yeah,
because
yeah, definitely.
yeah, if you don't believe that, nobody will. So if you feel that you're not you didn't reach that you think that you would, then you just can keep trying, or if you just can't, you go back. Nothing major happens, actually, as long as you are fine.
Exactly.
So while we're talking about that, have you ever experienced an eureka moment that led a really big perspective change in your past years? May it can include pandemic too or not?
Well, I'm thinking, for example, the question that you asked me, the previous question, while I was in South Africa, Cape Town, it was I would call them like it's my first big adventure, and I was literally like staying at someone's house through couch surfing where you can meet and host or be hosted by other people. We were like jumping through from the rocks to the ocean, which was like 30 meters. When you jump, when
Oh,
you touch in the ocean, the water gives a pain to you
racist.
because like 30 meters. It was fantastic. And then I was recording the moment with my GoPro, and there was a case. If I lose my GoPro, the case would come up. We put extra stick on it. But then the and that was a really pricey camera for us when the GoPro came first time.
Yeah, of course.
It was very expensive, and it was I bought the GoPro like 10 days ago, and that the case got broken. The stick that makes you up to the water fell down as well, and we didn't like the case come up, but the GoPro wasn't inside of it, and the GoPro went down, and I was like, it was like it's my like second day of my South Africa trip. Why this happened? I bought it like 10 days ago, and
Yeah.
I borrowed my money from my grandma because I didn't have the full money. I just paid it like first month, uh, and it was like we were like trying to find it like for 1 hour, trying to swim on it and trying to find it. And I was a bit scared because the sharks are famous in South America, South
Of
Africa as well.
course.
You might end up with the like white shark, the big white shark as well.
Well, I was waiting for you to mention the sharks actually when you
Yeah, exactly. And then but at one moment, like after 45 minutes or something, we said, okay, we cannot find it. And we were going back. Then one of my most magical moment happened. The 50, 60 dolphins just come across to us, and we were in the middle with an amazing sunset. We were in the middle, and just like 1 meter further than me, like they were jumping. And like imagine like 50 dolphins, and we were there in the middle, and they were like swimming and jumping in the middle. And I was like, sort of, I wish I could capture this moment through my GoPro, but I wouldn't be here if I found my GoPro. And I think that was like kind of like an answer from the nature that like, okay, some things can bad happen, but also there's always like good things gonna happen as well. Boom. The other memory that had happened is my Africa moment. Also, like I would definitely say the Antarctica, but not inside of the Antarctica. When I decided to go to Antarctica, I only have been 6 continents, and then I said, okay, I never imagined myself to step into 6 continents, and there's only one continent left, which I would even not dare to dream on it. And then I and then we did a crowdfunding, and those times like I was traveling daily like for $10, $10, and then the Antarctica main was like $10,000, which is really interesting. And the
Oh,
crowdfunding culture is not fit on the Turkish culture. They didn't know it in the past. Like it was like 4 years ago. Like no one was like, and but we raised 10,000 K dollar, and it was like holy shit, we did it! Like some people really can believe and support your dreams. That was really shocking for me. Not just like financially, but mentality. Like I had dream partners, and I always saying that like sometimes feeling stronger is more important than being strong, because you feel like teammates, dream partners, and I love this idea. And that was my definite Eureka moment.
can you repeat the thing that you just said with the code mark? I really would like to post it to everyone right now, or maybe
Sometimes
you.
it's I don't know. Okay, let me think about it as well. So my sometimes I'm trusting. Sometimes feeling strong is more important than being strong.
Feeling strong. Okay, I wrote my notes. I don't want to spend any more time on it, but it was really actually the things that you said uh, gets being concluded at the conclusion that you just said. Feeling strong is sometimes more important than maybe being actually strong, because we just talked and you said, and also when you believe that, when you believe something, and maybe you just completely feel that you will do that, then something comes in your way. Because I don't know, maybe is it your perspective that's being open at that side? But maybe what do you think about that? I mean, there I know most of my friends are really seeking some opportunities to go abroad, but they're doing like going abroad is so hard, or the currency is too high, etc. But for myself, I had some really good opportunities with Erasmus Plus programs, because I was like, okay, I will go. Whatever happens, I will go. I would stay in my friends. I just need to pay the flight ticket and etc. And then they just come. And as I know from your journey, the things come in your way, but you know how to take advantage from those opportunities. So
Yeah.
yeah,
This is actually like yesterday I mentioned this thing on my Instagram stories as well. I was telling basically okay, some bad things are happening as well. I'm gonna keep this answer, but there's lots of opportunities. Like I can't believe that like I, I love like I would love to live in the past as well, like 1920s, my favorite times, or end of 80s. But we're living in digital time, the biggest opportunity than ever.
Yeah.
So with the internet, we can reach anyone. LinkedIn, okay, you can say like I can't send a message to everyone on LinkedIn, but there's like LinkedIn Premium trial, which you can send unlimited mails to everyone, including
Yes.
CEOs and stuff. There's lots of Erasmus Plus project you mentioned, lots of scholarships and stuff like. But I think I always sometimes like I receive so much emails that like, hey, I want to go place, but I don't have money. Could you help me? Like, why don't you discover? If you Google it, you will find lots of things. Um, Workaway, Isaac projects, Erasmus Plus, and grant projects. Like there's lots of, and if you have a computer and internet, you can find lots of things. If you cannot find the tickets, you can always like send a message to people. You can find dream partners. I know it's not easy. I never say this. I never say this, but it gives you like, but the world is full of opportunities. I know that it sounds like, okay, white guy is telling this, but no, 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 no. For example, also I was sending a message to people, think that, oh, you're having a dream life. I'm happy that my dreams are becoming true,
You
but
made
people
it.
don't see, yeah, but people don't see the backstage. I did an
Exactly.
internship in London and I sent a message to, I think like more than 200 email to people that specifically personalized visa, and it was not easy. Like I had like some sleepless nights, but I was efforting, like giving effort, and then universe gives this answer later. It's not easy, or
Yeah.
and it's all about choices. And I'm trying to be always open for opportunities, not just like this. I mean, there's like, for example, if I'm like at the event or something, if I'm by myself, I try to meet other people, I try to understand them, or I try to keep their contact. It's really important. For example, the way that I travel is I try to not spend money for my accommodation. And I always say the people help sometimes through couch surfing, as I mentioned, or sometimes the people that I might travel. I get
Yeah.
friends with them, and they say like, and do you have Facebook, Instagram, or number? Let's exchange it. If you ever come to Istanbul, you can stay my place. Or if I go to Italy, let's suppose that I can stay at their house. This is really important as well.
Yeah.
Like keeping contact, meeting new people, understanding them, and being open-minded and stuff. And also, like, if you just Google a new scholarship, you will find lots of things. Facebook groups are fantastic for sure. If you check on the embassies,
Yeah.
you will find lots of scholarships as well. For example, my friends were complaining about that. Okay, master, I want to do master abroad, but it's so expensive. There's lots of scholarships. Fulbright, Jean Bonnet.
Yeah.
In digital world, we're super, super, super lucky. I know that there's lots of barriers for sure, like visas, work permit stuff. That's really makes me sad as well, including currency as well. But but
The
it's all about
education.
like all your perspective. You can focus on the bad stuff. Yeah, Turkish lira's economy is really bad, inflation is really hard, Turkish lira doesn't value
Yeah.
anything. But also there's lots of scholarships that you can take it and you can create something. And I'm super grateful that I had a chance to get a scholarship. uh, Turkey Girişimi Vakfı Entrepreneurship Foundation,
Yeah, they are our
by
partners.
amazing. YGA, State of Department, I mean, United States, and European Commission. And in the future, I will do a give back to the young people, young talented people who deserve it for this scholarship as well. Like, because I took it, and that was really life changing. This like life changing experience for me. And hopefully in the future, I will do the same. Like, and I'm telling everyone, like, if you get the scholarship, don't forget that you have to give something to the
Pay
society,
it
to the
back.
future as well.
Yeah, exactly. You're so right. And at the same time, while you are mentioning about the opportunities and everything, I don't know, but I kind of find it's I I I have an opinion, and I believe that we think we are on the same page. But I want to take your word too on it. So I think that when something goes wrong, for example, in the country, maybe we think that the economy is bad or something. I have an urge to like, okay, I didn't choose that, but I want to change it because I don't want to be dissatisfied because of something that I didn't cause. So
Yeah.
I go hard on it, harder maybe. Do you have that? Do you have that too?
Yeah, definitely. It's funny because I was talking to my foreign friend, non-Turkish friends, that like I sometimes say that how Turkey make me very hardworking and
Yes.
dedicated, like because like lots of challenges in Turkey for sure. And I know that like if they work hard, I have to work at least 2 times more.
Yes.
I'm like saying laughing, but I had a really bad experience as well, to be honest. Uh, I was applying a dream job those times, like 2 years ago. Uh, Actually, it was Twitter. I really like Twitter, and I got the first process, second and third as well, and the fourth they rejected me because I didn't have a work permit. They thought that my previous job was based in UK, and they thought that I had a work permit. They said like we can't give a work permit for juniors position, and I was like crying for a week. I didn't choose my country. I was able to get this requirements, all of them. It was a Turkish speaking speaker position that which you don't find easily in Turkey on
Of
Twitter,
course.
and that was the perfect one. And I cried for a week. And life is not easy sometimes. And I have a different jobs. I'm happy about my different jobs, but that experience was really shocking and sad for me as well. Some of these things happen as well, but people get used to it. I would say that, and maybe I told you like in Turkey we say Pollyanna, but we have to be sometimes positive about it. But
Of course.
I think I was really lucky to spend pandemic with my family, with them, and seeing themselves as safe people. They're like healthy and stuff, and that was really nice. But if I moved to London, I wouldn't see them, and I think that would be really bad.
Yeah.
It's all about like your perspective as well. Maybe next year, or definitely like or another 5 years later, I will find a job on Twitter. I'm not like I lost my interest, but that was a really harsh experience when I was like 23 years old.
Well, yes, that was a great example, actually. Whoever a Turkish student is watching this and will watch it when it's published, they're going
Yeah.
to go like, yeah, I've been there and done that kind of. So, yes. Actually, the chat was so fluent, so that I didn't want it to interrupt with like specific questions, but I integrated my questions into the discussion at the same time. But to conclude, you said, for example, you said a lot of stuff, and but to conclude, how do you cope with uncertainty? So it includes a certain situations in your business life, as you mentioned, the Twitter example, in your when you travel, basically all aspects in your life.
Yeah, I think I replied already, but like always open the opportunities. It's like I sometimes describe it as like being surfer. Surfers are always ready for the waves. They
Waves,
don't
yeah,
know what time like when it's gonna come, but they was already always like the wetsuits are on the backside. So I'm always like this. I always have a luggage that small luggage that ready for my travels. If you say I'm like okay, Barkın, tonight we are flying, I'm ready. It's something like this, like ready to be opportunities that makes you agile. I think in 21st century, being agile is the key power, I guess. Many traditional companies are getting less agile and they're losing their
yeah,
power because they're not adapting.
dying.
I think travels made me very agile and easy to adapt to other things easily. Whenever I go, I can adapt the culture uh, or adapt to situations and not complain because travel makes you adapt out of your comfort zone as well. And I think at the business side, I was lucky and I got promoted in my company during the COVID because I was so ready. I was agile enough to get
Yeah,
used to the Corona situations. That's really important, I think. Accepting opportunities, right? Ready for the opportunities and being agile and ready to move somewhere. And I think in the future we will see this more. Lots of crises going to come, and we have to manage through the agile, I guess.
Well, exactly. Being open to opportunities, actually, as you it mostly in my head, it's relevant to the second experience that you've mentioned with the job application of yours, and at the same time, the story with the dolphins. Actually, it was really inspiring, I believe, because.
Thank you.
Uh, yeah, of course. So, being open to opportunities sometimes is seen as like personal development coaches say, but it's something like maybe knowing from inside that something is going to happen as long as you seek for it. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So, yeah, but sometimes we might have maybe missed decisions or something like that. So I'm gonna pop up that question. So what? This is too negative. So I would like to make it in a two-sided way. So tell me two moments that you think changed your life, but like for example pandemic, yes, changed, but we are here now, but maybe we
Yeah.
didn't have pandemic, we wouldn't be making that. So maybe the thing might be negative but changed your life, but the other situation, the second one, is something that you said, okay, it brightened my life up. Do you have those moments?
I mean, I guess lots of, but I want to reply this question as well. Like people ask me, what's your biggest regret in life as well? And
Really?
yeah, I sometimes like check my life time to time, like mostly like per 3 months. I check it and write little stories on my Instagram as well. I believe that I don't have any regrets, like, and that's a really big thing as well. Because I did lots of things that I used to hurt myself by myself. I remember I lost airplane when I was in Singapore. I was flying from Australia to Istanbul. That was a really big trip for me. And in Singapore, I missed my flight. And I was judging myself crazy. I didn't have any money. And my family was in the Cuba without no internet. I didn't call them. I called my family, friends, relatives. None of them answered because it was 4 a.m. I ended up found the ticket, but I was like judging myself. How would you do this? How would you do this? How would you do this? And I hurt myself. Like I didn't eat anything, drink anything, even cried. And I'm now regretting myself that you will fail. Everyone fails. You have to fail. This is like
Yeah.
something, the part of being grow up, and accepting fail is more important, I think, than taking the lesson. I know that it sounds cliche, but it's really important. And without fail, you can't step more. You can't see the further. You can open your horizons. That's really important. I think. Like even little things. I missed my flight, but I
Yeah.
learned something, and the only regret that I said, why would I hurt myself that much? And then my dad called me
Yeah.
later. Hey, I saw your Facebook post that you missed your flight. Are you okay? And I replied, I'm sorry, Dad. Like that was my first answer. Like he was like, are you okay? Like if something happened, like what is it? Something happened? It's like I'm sorry, Dad. And it's like, what the fuck? Like what are you talking about? Like, are you healthy? Are you okay?
Yeah.
That's all. Like don't worry yourself. Like money, we can lose it, but like okay, like I paid that money later. But I mean, but like don't hurt yourself. Don't
Exactly.
like the health is the most important. I think pandemic also people understand that the health is really important. Even for me, before the pandemic, I was traveling as well, but I was a little bit losing. I have to confess that I was a little bit giving less value of my travels. I was still enjoying, but I was not still like I was not enough enjoying, I guess, like used to in the
Ah,
past. And I was not understand and learning my things from my travel. There was not enough digesting time that like you understand what you experience and stuff. I was just like going to end the travels and end the
yeah, yeah,
travels like and then one day it stopped and more than 1 year I was reading lots of books, remembering my travels, remembering my foreigner friends, and reawakening that how much travel was value for me. And sometimes to understand why this is really important, you should lose it. It's sometimes really important. I think people understand
Exactly.
like what is that. Even like we have to wear a mask these days, and we didn't know that like how the parks are, or even like small walks are really important for us. And I
Exactly.
love this reawakening, I guess.
Exactly. So so would you like to answer that question too before we close?
Well, okay, I have to say something that like I don't know, like imagine. I love the Turkish quote, but like to say this, imagine the reaching the stars so you can reach the clouds. I love this quote, but
Yeah.
so people said, "Oh, really good that you have in Antarctica. How would you do it? Like, and how could you dream it?" Like I said, like, I wouldn't even dare to dream it, but it happened. But it's always happened. It's a process. First, I went to Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, and big trip to South America. And I'm super glad that I didn't go to Antarctica directly because it was always process to
Yeah.
understand, for example, handle to be solo travel, handle to how we can organize your financial while you're travel and being grow up and to understand the value of travel. My mentality was really interesting in Antarctica because I was, I think, enough mature.
Yeah.
And it happened. I mean,
As it's time.
I'm still surprising that I have in Antarctica. Sometimes I can't believe that although I have been.
Was it a
And if
dream or something?
yeah, like I was like always like touching myself, touching the ground to understand. Okay, I'm really in Antarctica on Antarctica and Mars. Like I'm open. Take me, Elon.
Yeah, why not?
Elon Musk. But something that I will think about. Like I mean, Um,
Why not?
it's so yeah, but I think like it's so early, but maybe one day when I became like 30, 40. It's soon right now. But yeah, I think I will think about it and I will work
Well,
hard for this, I guess.
with this kind of sarcastic question, you answered you pointed out in a really good place, I believe, because this is not something to be arrived. It's the whole process. It's being on the
Yeah,
road. It's not like the point. It's about the lines. So
I was thinking, sorry,
yeah,
I just remembered something. So, when I was going to Antarctica, before first thing you do, like, okay, let me search it. Do I have any friend who is in Antarctica? And and then I learned that I have friends who has in Antarctica. And then,
really,
yeah, before, and I asked a couple of questions that was really helpful. And 2 years ago, in 2018, I met, or 2019, I think 2019, I met someone, Anish Kapoor, through Entrepreneurship Foundation, Girişimcilik Vakfı. There was a gala, and then there was a ball, and then we met. She was the main guest, and she's a friend of Elon Musk as well. And then we were talking. She has been Antarctica as well, but the most important, she was the first female visitor on space, not on
whoa,
Antarctica, but I will say like, no, time to start to plan my space trip, not Mars, but like, okay, because you know, like you always find the start point, beginning point. I was like, okay, I met someone who has been space, so
yes.
that was like my mind. Okay, now maybe things might start again, not soon, but maybe long term. Yeah,
Yeah, well, your last sentence actually, I believe, summarized the most of the things that we talked, because you said like I find a way and I find a light. I built my maybe spaceship,
exactly.
something. So whatever comes in your way that you don't expect or you don't think for it to come, you are always have a right to start something else or find another door maybe, or
Yeah, it's all about mentality, as I mentioned. Like, we have to be positive. Like, we have to be look seeking opportunities. Like, I would say that, like, okay, being a also like so for Antarctica tickets are 10,000 $10,000. I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna complain and not gonna act anything, or like finding opportunities, doing crowdfunding, asking people and stuff. That's the mental difference. If I can explain like
Yes.
properly, it's the same.
Yes.
Like, okay, I would say like, okay, I will never ever go to space in my life or something, or I would say, oh, I met someone who is in space. That might be my beginning point as well.
Yeah, even if you can't go to space, you can climb up. There was a word of Einstein, I believe. We can conclude the session with that. If you're okay with it too. It was
Sure.
saying that aim to the stars, even if you cannot reach, you climb a tree.
Yeah,
yeah, like
exactly.
So, yes.
People are forgetting that like maybe you can't reach your aim, but the process is more important.
Exactly.
Don't forget this. Like,
so I think we should move on with that question with another discussion, because it's a really good introduction for a really good perspective of life, and I believe that a lot of people can learn something. But for today, I think it would be great that we conclude.
yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much to you and your team as well. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. The video will be published in 2 weeks. So all of them will be able to see it, hopefully. And
Sure.
thank you so much again.
Love it to meet you. Have a nice day.
You too. Goodbye.
Bye bye.